1 minute, we're just having a good time.
A single moment.
And that's when everything just blacked out.
Can change everything.
And he just stomps on my face. Last thing I expected is to get assaulted by the workers, at the business.
April 12, 2015, Carlos Garay was in San Francisco with his brother. They were drinking. They tried getting into Penthouse nightclub on Broadway. Surveillance video shows the guard refusing them entry. Garay approaches the guard. His brother gets in between. Then Garay tries to go in again when another man, later identified as the bartender, punches him. With Garay down but seemingly still conscious, the bouncer launches forward.
It changed everything.
Alyssa Saenz is Garay's girlfriend and mother to their 10-year-old son.
It's still really hard to talk about.
Garay suffered a traumatic brain injury. Doctors removed the right side of his skull, leaving him with memory loss and seizures.
A lot of doctor visits, a lot of medical issues. It's just hard going from being healthy to all these issues now.
The guard, Jared Welty, is serving 5 years at San Quentin State Prison for felony assault. Garay says at least he survived.
Some people weren't so lucky,
Like 24-year-old Danny Esquivel of Palo Alto.
I feel like he died alone. It's probably one of the hardest things for me as a mom.
Less than a month before the San Francisco incident, Blanca Martinez's son was at Myth Taverna and Lounge in San Jose. Security cameras recorded Esquivel with the front door guard Jose Bonilla when Bonilla throws a punch.
He punches him once and then twice.
The force propels Bonilla to the middle of the street. According to the police report, Esquivel fell to the ground, striking his head on the concrete.
So I never got a chance to say bye to him. I never got to see him at the hospital.
A coroner's report shows the death was ruled a homicide. Two investigators obtained video of Bonilla's police interrogation interview.
And then what happens next? We shut the door and that's it.
After telling police two versions of what happened that contradict surveillance video,
you're telling me lies, and you're going to get in trouble for telling me lies.
Bonilla gives a third account.
He gets in my face, he swings at me, hits me in my chin, and that's when I react. I was scared. I didn't know it was going to turn like that.
Bonilla served 8 months in jail for involuntary manslaughter. So in this report, it says employees at the Myth Club were told by management not to call 911 for the victim.
Yeah, I just don't understand it.
Witness Snapchat video captured the moments after the punch. You see a man helping put Esquivel's lifeless body into a pedicab.
No one is calling for any help. 911 should have been there. If you're going to be working with the public like that, you need to make sure that you know how to handle it, situation.
And handling situations like these requires proper security guard licensing. Proper licensing would have meant a full criminal background check and job-specific training, which includes skills to de-escalate situations. But two investigators learned at both Penthouse and Myth, the bar security guards involved in these cases had canceled licenses.
I saw the employees keep coming in and out and standing there around watching like it was a show.
How does that make you feel?
Mad. Angry.
Garay is now suing Penthouse in civil court. In a deposition last January, a valet employee told attorneys, quote, "Everyone who worked at Penthouse was kind of just considered like a security team," end quote. Were you provided any training at all to do that, he was asked. No. Did anyone ever train you in when you should call the police when you shouldn't? No. Did you ever call the police? No.
It's probably around 70% that are not truly fully licensed.
CEO and president of Nightclub Security Consultants and former police detective Robert Smith says there is an underground industry of untrained guards. Under California law, if an in-house security guard interacts with the public and wears a distinctive uniform, that person has to receive what's called a proprietary private security officer license. It includes job-specific training. In the case of bars and nightclubs, that means how to deal with drunk patrons, violence, and other specific issues. Instead,
the biggest loophole that's being used is the fact that club operators will hire the cheapest level of guard, and that happens to be the guard card.
Getting the so-called guard card, Smith says, is receiving the most generic form of training. At Penthouse and Myth, Jared Welty and Jose Bonilla not only had canceled licenses, but they only had canceled guard cards. Is the guard card enough?
It should be enough, but
I don't believe it's enough.
What do you think of the guard card?
BS. Guard training don't train you for nightclubs.
Well, you can stand here long enough, you'll see crazy things.
State officials say it is the employer's responsibility to ensure their guards are licensed and trained. So we tried tracking down the owners of Myth and Penthouse. You were trying to look for your owner? The state oversees licensing for both guards and employers. There is an underground industry of unlicensed, untrained guards. Is the state aware of this?
We hear from consumers on a regular basis and from the general public of unlicensed activities, so we know it does exist, and we are trying to do our best.
Veronica Harms with California's Bureau of Security and Investigative Services says the Bureau can partner with local law enforcement to take action against the business, but she says they usually find out about unlicensed activity from the public or news agencies. But don't you think it's too late by then?
We encourage people to notify us at any point of the process.
But Blanca Martinez wants to know, what good are laws if they're not followed or enforced?
So senseless. There's so many things about that are wrong.
Because I never meant for this to happen. I'm gonna be calm right now telling you, but I'm dying inside. I don't.
Danny talked about forgiveness. Danny talked about not letting your heart turn ugly. So I'm trying to be that.
But when lives have been changed by a single moment, the survivors are left wondering, did it have to?
Shouldn't have ended the way it did.